but I think the most impressive thing for me, it was 0 walks. I mean, she's going in, she is efficient.
First pitch swinging for Denver Bryant, and that throw is wide. Something Clemson had struggles with earlier in the year. The defense has been much better. They had just 1 error in 3 games against North Carolina, but Alex Brown throws it wide, and Denver Bryant's aboard.
Yeah, it just comes down to the little things. We know that this is a play by Brown that needs to be made. Potentially a little game day nerves. Like I said, these in-state rivalries bring out sometimes that different type of just good adrenaline rush. It's being able to kind of calm that down a little bit.
Brown is a transfer from North Carolina, so she doesn't have a lot of love for the Gamecocks either. That doesn't change as she comes to Clemson. Pitch is in there, a good spot from Reagan Spencer to Riley Blampede, the center fielder. Blampede 0 for 9 with a couple walks in their last 3 games, but still second on the team with a .333 average. Pops this one up on the infield, and they will let it spin foul wisely. Great atmosphere at McWhorter Stadium tonight for this rivalry matchup. It's been a home and home now for the last few years. Look at this place.
Wow.
They have lined the outfield walls. The cars were still pulling in just moments ago. This is down and away, 1-2 count. The berm is full, about 3 rows deep. 1-2 is fouled back. Good battle here from Blampede going against Reagan Spencer, a senior from Lexington, North Carolina. She has just allowed 1 earned run in the last 26 innings pitched. You said it, Danielle, 2 starts this weekend against UNC, 9 innings, no walks, no runs.
I think the most important thing is just not giving up those free passes. Anytime as a pitcher where you can limit the walks, it just puts your team in a good position to have your back behind you. Sometimes those free passes end up biting you.
Something that Clemson as a whole has really not had issues with. It's been a season trend. They don't give up free passes, and they don't give up the long ball. 36 walks on the year is best in the ACC. Left side, Brown a little high this time. Maddie Moore helps her out at second base.
I'll tell you, those game day emotions and the adrenaline rush and sometimes thinking about the last play that you just did come into play. I know these women are pros. They're out there. They're college athletes. They play this game all the time. But sometimes it really can get the best of you. So it's about being able to settle, have your teammates come up and just kind of chat with you a little bit, just kind of bring you back down to reality, because the game day high is real. I can say that I've kind of felt it all day, and I haven't even been out on the field, right, like as an analyst. So we know that in-state rivalry is a lot. Sometimes it's containing that emotion just a little bit better and getting the first inning out of the way.
Elena Vaughter will hit for herself. It's something that she told Bev Smith in the recruiting process. She wanted to be a 2-way player. Had a 3-run home run to walk it off and win it against Boston University, who's a very good program, made the regionals last year, return a lot of their roster. Vaughter ahead 2-0. It's this hard down the left field line, foul.
And when we talked with Coach Bev Smith about Elena Vaughter and just through the transfer portal, that was one of the main things that Elena Vaughter said she wanted. She wanted to be that Amanda Scarborough unicorn type pitcher hitter where she's gonna get to help the cause and step in the batter's box. There's just something different when you get to help.
Good at bat so far. I think Blampede had a good at bat as well. Denver Bryant came up swinging first pitch, which I think Bev Smith might like. She wants them to attack early in the count, and Vaughter draws a walk, a rare walk. Have to be happy with this start, don't you, Danielle, if you're South Carolina offensively?
Yeah, I think you have to, when a team is going to give you that little inch and they make that error, that first batter right out of the gate, that's your time to just continue to keep trying to pour it on. Alina Vaughter with a good at-bat.
Reagan Marchant, the DP, re-enters here for Vaughter to run at first base. Blampede at second. First pitch swinging, fouled out of play for strike one.
And we've seen that a couple times, and that was asking Bev Smith the initial game plan, like, hey, offensively, where are you guys at? She said, the numbers don't reflect how good of hitters that we are, but we need to change up our game plan going in this weekend, swinging a little bit early.
That's down the right field line, fair ball, one run gonna come around to score. Cummings will stay at first, and a fantastic start for the Gamecocks here on the road.
Yeah, Jen Cummings, this is a pitch in on her hands. I don't think this is a terrible spot by Reagan Spencer. She just hits it in the perfect spot down the line.
Cummings is just an on-base machine. Her average isn't overly high, but she knows how to get on base, put a good swing on that one to put it first and third now with one out. Carly Shelton, the second baseman, with her first chance. Swinging off the end of the bat. And it's 2-0 South Carolina. They'll take it.
South Carolina putting the pressure on right away. I mean, this is just a slow ground ball. Nothing you can do. Maddie Moore has to go one, get the sure out, but another run crosses.
On the left field line and tracked down by Ariel Oda for the third out.
On balls, she has that drop ball, tends to use her defense a lot behind her. But I think it's really, honestly, Chucky, being able to come into this game and kind of control the emotions a little bit, right? Like, this is a big rivalry game, but more importantly, this is the first one for Alina Vaughter that she's getting to experience what it's like playing here at Clemson.
Fouled back by the third baseman, Alex Brown. Had the error in the first inning and then kind of another wild throw, but helped out by Maddie Moore at second base. Brown is actually learning that position this year. They've moved her to third base, and John Rittman told us she's actually getting comfortable there. They like how things are settling in around the infield. Swings through that, strike two. Transfer from North Carolina, so two first-timers in this rivalry going head-to-head. 63 hits last year to lead the Tar Heels. Vaughter misses just outside. Two, right back to Vaughter. Little PFP to start things off for the transfer from Stanford.
Well, and 72 miles an hour down in the zone is a hefty pitch, right? Like, and Clemson knows the drop ball. They know Valerie Cagle. I'm sure she's thrown some, you know, good scrimmages to them, but upper 70s or low 70s, excuse me, down in the zone is tough right out of the gate as a hitter.
Ariel Oda watches strike one. Left fielder, senior from Buford, Georgia. She is one of the originals. John Rittman wanted a timeout to talk to Oda. Said her and...
You can hear the frustration right out of the gate with the home plate umpire on that last pitch getting called. Like, it's getting feisty. You hear people yelling from the stands. You hear Coach Rittman say his 2 cents while he calls timeout, which also just goes into play back to this rivalry and how much and how intense it really is.
Well, we saw last year in the first round here at McWhorter Stadium, Bev Smith for South Carolina, basically on the first pitch of the game, Donnie Goborn was called for an illegal pitch. She didn't love it. Comes out a couple more times, and finally in about the third inning, it didn't take long before she got the toss. So she said she was looking forward to seeing the majority of this game, I think, this time around.
I think the funniest thing that I got out of the coach's call was she said she was like TikTok famous after that. There was like 14 million views on her getting tossed in the game last year.
1-2 is up and away from Oda. John Rittman said Ariel Oda and JoJo Hyatt mean so much to this program. They both enrolled in 2018 before there was a stadium, before there was a schedule, as Oda puts it into right field. Said it's going to be an emotional senior day, and there's more than just those two that have meant so much to this program.
When we asked Coach Rittman, that's the one thing he kept saying was these young ladies put their faith in a program that wasn't even here yet, right? And I think when you get someone like Coach Rittman, who is the head honcho, looking at his experience in the game and what he's been able to do, that's someone that you follow.
Left field deep and gone. First pitch swinging. Mackenzie Clark just doing what she does. 8th home run of the season to tie things up at 2.
First pitch out of here. This is just bled way too much over the heart of the plate. Talk about some swagger up the line, firing up the squad. She's feeling it. Love to see it.
I'm here for that all day long. That is 5 first-inning home runs in the last 4 games for Clemson. And you can bet South Carolina took note of that too, just in case they get an opportunity. This is hit high into center field, right in the direction of Blampede, who casually walks over for out number 2. When you pitched in these types of games, high leverage, rivalry games, whatever it might be, do you feel like you could use that extra energy, or did you kind of have to tone it down so you could do what you do?
Well, for the pitching piece, when you're too amped up and the adrenaline is too high, sometimes you overpitch, which means you can pitch out of your spin and somewhat force it. So it's being able to respect that that is there, but not try to pitch or be any different. Easier said than done, right? But I think those are the best environments to play in. As much as you love playing at home in this type of environment, I almost dug being on the road more, because you know everyone is out to get you. These fans, I'm gonna say, hate you, because this is such a filthy rivalry. They don't like each other. So when you have someone like Vaughter, you have to love that piece. And I think it also takes pretty special people to want to be pitchers, right? It's the hardest position on the field. There's a lot that you have to be able to compartmentalize. That's what makes it so bittersweet and rewarding too, right?
2-2 count now. Maddie Moore, the second baseman, battling with Vaughter. Asked Bev Smith about this rivalry. She said it's hard to explain to people outside of South Carolina just what it means. Very exciting. Every sport marks it on their calendar, and you mentioned it right off the top of our broadcast. She's hoping to change the plot in this one. Diving stop by Bryant. What a play! Denver Bryant for out number 3. it was really the university and the fan support. It's been such a group effort to take this program from being announced in March of 2017 to back-to-back super regionals less than 8 years later. This is hit high into shallow center field. And that's Clark taking care of it for out number 1 to retire Gonzalez. Coming up next, we keep it rolling here on ACC Network. Number 2, Texas, taking on number 18, Florida State at 8 Eastern. You do not want to miss it. Mark Neely and Michelle Smith will bring you that one. Florida State dropped 2 of 3 to Duke this weekend. Texas just 3 losses on the season. Loving these early season non-conference matchups that we're getting, especially tonight, as we see Julia Desiderio, the catcher, puts this well into left center field and finds a spot in the Bermuda Triangle out there for a base hit.
And this has to feel so good if you're Desiderio. She has been struggling at the plate, and sometimes it just takes, like you said, that little Bermuda Triangle, falls in there.
The 9-hole Brooke Blankenship in their batting average leader for the season. Junior from Hudson, Florida, transfer from Florida State last year. Led South Carolina with a 300 average last year as well, but even better this season. She's one that seems to be really settling in. She had 5 walks in their first 15 games, has had 15 walks in their last 12. Shows off the discipline right there on a close pitch.
Was it a close pitch? I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
I'm
Danielle.
surprised.
Talking discipline here, I think that's a great eye.
And you
fits the story I was telling.
Yeah, you could see the look of frustration on Reagan Spencer's face. Man, where else do you want that? Even 0-2, I think that might have been a little close.
Now, Blankenship is all the way back to a full count here with a runner on and just 1 out. "3-2 from Spencer. Another foul ball. We've seen this from top to bottom in the order. If they aren't jumping on the first pitch and putting it in play, they've made Reagan Spencer work. "3-2. Got her. Right back to that spot and gets the call this time.
This almost seems deja vu of the pitch 3 pitches ago on the outer half. Drop ball, great downward movement. Vieira behind the dish does a great job kind of framing that up. Pretty pitch by Spencer.
Takes a little off there at 56 miles per hour, freezes Denver Bryant for strike 1. She reached on an error her first trip to the plate. 1 inside, ground ball taken care of by Lungoleo at short.
That South Carolina is putting out on the field.
You look at South Carolina's pitching staff, the hitters don't need to do a whole lot with as good as they've been. And really, you could say the same for Clemson and their pitching staff, as great as it's been. You're missing Valerie Cagle right now, out with illness still. Ground ball left side, on the run, tough throw, and Brooke Blankenship always makes it look easy.
When I was going through looking at just these different pitchers and their ability to roll those ground balls, right? Like you look at someone like Elena Vaughter and you look at someone like Valerie Cagle. Vaughter tends to throw 59.9% ground balls to her defense. So when you are playing up the middle, that's someone that you know, hey, there's a good chunk of balls that I'm going to get right back at me. It's 2 quick outs by Vaughter using the dirt.
Vaughter caught that. She was still posing from the, still like in her stride from the pitch. Grace Hiller now, sophomore from Macon, Georgia. Watches strike 1 on the inside corner. Hiller stepped up this weekend against UNC, couple hits, a double, an RBI. Rittman was very happy for her and the work she's put in. Swings through that 69-mile-per-hour pitch from Vaughter. Her dad, Joey, played college baseball, was drafted by the Brewers. 0-2 misses. Vaughter looking for a quick 1-2-3.
When you're that next hitter up and you know that there's been 2 quick outs, you want to go in and step in the batter's box and try to have a good, hefty at-bat. Don't want to make it a short, quick inning to get South Carolina back in the dugout.
Four straight retired after that 2-run blast by Mackenzie Clark.
I'm always big on the response from pitchers. I think when you give up those big home runs, especially in this type of environment, how do you respond from that? You've seen Elena Vaughter use that 5th-year experience that she has to continue to keep trucking away, and I think that's when the mental piece of the game really comes to fruition, right? It's like, okay, hey, this is a big time game. That happened. Now it's a tie ball game, but I can only focus on 1 pitch at a time.
Another ground ball. That's 3 of them this inning. And they go 1-2-3 as Vaughter retires 5 straight since that 2-run home run. It's the bat almost more than they do the arm for her.
Yeah, one of the best 2A players in our sport. And we're all on the edge of our seat, right? Like, what's the status? I have to know what's going on with Cagle. Hopefully we see her at some point. Obviously not today, but I also think, Chucky, you look at this last weekend and the success that they were able to put up against a really tough North Carolina team. Heading into last weekend, they were #1 in average across the country over everyone. That's talking Oklahoma, Georgia, Tennessee. Like, they were coming in at #1. So when I look at that, to me, it means like, hey, we may be missing our best player, but now there's no excuse. We have to step up because we don't have Valerie Cagle, who's going to be able to step in the batter's box or help or in the circle. And I think we really saw that.
That ball's crushed. Foul by Riley Blampede. Clemson also missing a super talented freshman, Julia Noller, who hasn't played since February 25th. Hoping she'll be back soon. Hitting .350 on the season as a true freshman.
Yeah, that was something Coach Rittman really talked about, Noller, and just how much fun she's been on this team and how much they miss her.
Off the handle. You could hear Lungaleo taking charge at short. Top 12 matchup in the country as Elena Vaughter steps in to try and help her cause here with 1 out in the 3rd.
Well, and before she was a Gamecock playing at Stanford, she got AB. She had 43 at-bats over the course of her 4 years at Stanford. Had 7 hits, had 11 ribbies, 3 home runs. She actually had one a couple weeks ago, 3-run home run over Boston U. That was the walk-off. But I tell you, there's something about being a pitcher when you get to step in the box that you feel way less pressure than when you're in the circle. it just allows for you to go out there and just, oh man, this is fun. And sometimes when you take that piece out and it's like, almost feels like it wears on you, right? So for those pitchers that get to hit a little bit, it's just, it's fun for them.
How much of an added boost when you do help yourself with a big base hit to drive in a run or a home run? How do you get that confidence in the circle as well, just kind of fueling the fire?
Well, I think it just lights your teammates up too. Oh, that was close.
The crowd will tell you basically any call that is made, which I love. Spencer versus Vaughter. 3-2, swings through it. Strikeout number 2 for Reagan Spencer.
Well, and Reagan Spencer, no walks over the course of last weekend, but that was her third 3-ball count of the game. Gamecocks are making her work. This drop ball in on the hands might actually be a little bit of a screw with some extra wiggle at the end. Really tough pitch, good location. Another thing to talk about too, I mean, I've seen her throw a lot more changeups straight out of the gate. And when I was looking at South Carolina coming into this game on 6-4-3, as a team, they bat 189 against changeups. So we've seen her throw a little more.
Deep to left field, that's gone. Jen Cummings, a solo shot to put South Carolina on top. Opposite field for Cummings, her first home run of the season.
So good. This is just a straight up elevate and celebrate. I thought this had some like extra hang time right off the bat, Chucky. I didn't know that this was going to get out of here, but it carried once it got up in the air. That has to feel so good if you're Jen Cummings.
First of the year for Cummings, first allowed by Spencer. Brings up Carly Shelton. The home run comes with 2 outs. Third base umpire Tim Casati says she did not go around. Donald Brown at first base. Jeremy Carter behind the dish tonight. This is ripped right side. Diving stop over at second by Moore, and she retires. Carly Shelton. Couple of Carolina head coach Bev Smith, and 3-2 lead for your team, coach. You talked to us about an aggressive approach in the box. I think we've seen that tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, that was something we wanted to work on as an offense, and I'm glad to see it show up today. I think we're being aggressive to our zone and good pitches.
Coach, I have to ask, Elena Vaughter didn't get these in-state type rivalry games playing at Stanford, but did you talk to her about what it's going to be like playing in this environment and just how much a game like this means?
Well, absolutely. Our players have talked to her, and she was certainly there for the Clemson Carolina football game this year. So the players have talked to her about the rivalry, and then we certainly talked about this environment.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's been an awesome environment so far, Danielle. Crowd has been into it. South Carolina has come out. They're looking for their first win in this rivalry. They've lost all 5 since the first meeting back in 2021. It's been a home and away series since 2022, so they'll welcome Clemson to Columbia on April 9th. Elena Vaughter has a 1-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and she has fielded her position phenomenally tonight. That's 3 of them right back to her for out number 1.
And that drop ball right now just has such good downward bite. And when I say it just hits a little different trying to hit something 70 plus with downward spin, it really is, as a hitter, has to be in your wheelhouse. But I think what I can appreciate the most about Vaughter is she'll be able to get it with that down tight spin, but then she can get it up in the zone and get it called for strikes. And I mean, career numbers for Vaughter, leads D1. And I didn't know if she was going to enter the transfer portal after last year and the run that Stanford made going to OKC. And you find her here in South Carolina kind of getting to write her own destiny, requesting, hey, I want to be that two-way player. I want to be that hitter. Coach Bev Smith giving her that opportunity, and sometimes it's nice to set foot into another program in your 5th year because you've earned that right? You've given your 4 years of time to your university that you chose to go to, and you can learn a lot more about yourself when you go potentially to another school, a different pitching coach. Something may hit home a little different to help elevate your game in your last year.
Asked Bev Smith a couple weeks ago, what's the transfer portal like? She said fast and furious. So what was it like with Elena Vaughter? And she said, not so much. That one was a little more stressful because when she went in the portal, she went on a trip to South Africa. And I think you remember, Danielle, in the summer, everyone was kind of, when Elena Vaughter went in the portal, it had been a week or two, and we're thinking, okay, we need answers.
I know. That's the one thing. You'll see these athletes head in there, and then you're on the edge of your seat until it says next to them where they're going.
Especially with a game-changing pitcher like Vaughter. She was one of the most highly sought-after transfers in the portal. That's why South Carolina had the 4th-ranked transfer class, according to D1 softball. She was a big part of it. Denver Bryant, transfer from Auburn as well. Kiana Jones, transfer from North Carolina. 2-2 right side. Jen Cummings steps on first base, 2 away. Gymnastics, Danielle, you got that? Like, can you?
That wasn't in my body type, Chucky.
Okay. Didn't know if you get on the balance beam or anything.
Yeah, no. Actually, my daughter last week, who already plays 2 select sports and another one for fun, goes, I'd really like to take up gymnastics. Like, Mads, sorry, hon, that's just not going to be in our wheelhouse.
The schedule's full.
It is full. And it is incredible what those gymnasts are able to do, that wear and tear on the body, the amount of hours logged in the gym. Nowadays, you're just seeing youth sports grow so much in the sense where it's like a lot of time goes into them, right? It at times can take over your life.
Oda, ground ball left side. Denver Bryant back to work. A lot of ground balls from Coach Mackenzie Clark. Has had an unbelievable career. The big swing tonight to give you the 2-run home run. What makes her so special?
Oh, she's just a very talented ball player, great person, just a leader in our program. You know, she's so talented athletically, great defense, great arm. You know, hits for power, hits for average, and, you know, she's just been an integral part of our success over the last 4 years.
Coach, I mean, I have to ask, it's my job. What's the status on Valerie Cagle? We've seen her in the dugout, but just from your take.
Yeah, she's doing better. We're hoping to have her this weekend. She's been out with an illness, so hopefully she'll be ready to go for the series this weekend against Virginia.
Appreciate the time, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Clemson trailing by 1. I mean, that's really good news for Tigers fans if they can get Cagle back. Reagan Spencer, Millie Thompson have done a lot of the work, especially against North Carolina. Spencer started 2 games. Millie Thompson started 1. Both of them were pretty much lights out. Saw Brooke McCubbin with a relief appearance in that series as well. It's hard to replace the National Player of the Year, though, Danielle.
Yeah, but it's not that he doesn't have confidence in those other pitchers, but they're more dangerous when they have Valerie Cagle to go to. We've seen Cagle log a ton of innings over the course of her career, and we're seeing a lot of those innings being spread out more evenly because of the depth that they have in the circle, and they complement each other so well.
Henderson slaps it into left field. Base hit for one of the best hitters on South Carolina to lead off the 4th inning.
When I was kind of doing my homework on players like Carly Henderson, I was kind of looking at the spray charts from that 6-4-3, and against those right-handed pitchers, 71% of the time, they're going to left field, and that was a prime example of it. Even though it was just kind of one of those little dink balls that goes over the shortstop, it's still headed that way.
0-1 count to Marissa Gonzalez, who flied out to left field the first time up and pops this one up. Excuse me, flied out to center field and pops this up to the catcher, Abby Vieira.
Well, and these are just straight up victories. If you're a pitcher, you absolutely love this. And if your job is to try to get the sac bunt down, the last thing that you can do is pop it up. Great pitch by Reagan Spencer.
Desiderio swinging first pitch and fouls that straight back. Just her second hit of the season, her first trip to the plate. She was 1 for 27 entering the night. Hit .252 last year, drove in 22 runs. Need her to get that bat going.
And sometimes it does just take that one hit that you've just, every single at bat, you're going and you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, and you can just feel the pressure just escalate. When you can finally get it out and get it done, it allows for you sometimes to take that breath, and that's where the mental part of the game comes in. Like, how hard are you working on that tool? Because when you get to the place where talent-wise it's not working the way you need it to, how do you complement it upstairs?
Spencer can't get that call in the outside corner. That's been the spot she's been battling with for all night. That outside corner, she's got a couple of them, 2-2 now. Up and in this time. And Vieira stays busy. Back-to-back pop-outs to the catcher. Back to the 9-hole, Brooke Blankenship, who struck out looking her first trip to the plate. Blankenship 3 for 6 with 7 walks over the last 5 games. Ground ball right side, and that's going to do it for the 4th inning as Maddie Moore takes care of Blankenship.
Hits like that, and what it feels like is what you miss when you're retired.
Slow roller this time. Tough play to get the speedster, but Blankenship takes care of her. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a big one for Vaughter, who is now retired 9 straight since that home run.
It just goes to show how successful her drop ball really has been. You're seeing Clemson swing early in the count. I'd like to see them try to take a couple pitches and make Elena Vaughter work.
Aaliyah Longoleo fouls the first pitch down the left side. Longoleo, one of many, it seems like, in this matchup that comes from a family of athletes. Her mom, Cindy, a member of the first ever softball team at Austin Peay. Senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Ground ball left side. Guess who? Blankenship. 2 outs. Don't forget, this is not the... This is 3 losses this season to Stanford, Houston, and LSU.
And Texas actually took over the #1 spot of where North Carolina was coming into the weekend in average, leading the nation. 401 batting average for the Texas Longhorns. Should be a good matchup tonight against Florida State.
1-0 lifted into center field. Blampede under it. And a 5-pitch inning for Elena Vaughter, who keeps her team in front through 4. They're averaging almost 1,900 fans per game this season. And it's 3 straight years of selling out their season tickets. This is a community that has supported this program since its inception in 2020. 0-1 ground ball left side. Longoleo takes care of it. 1 out.
And I think that saying, if you build it, they will come, especially with knowing just Clemson in all athletics, not just softball, but when they brought it up that, hey, we're going to have this softball program, John Rittman going to be the head coach. I mean, there was just so much hype in the softball world about it. And then just seeing the expansion and seeing the packed house all the time just goes to show, like, not only is this such a cool, amazing sport to watch, but I mean, you got to keep building more and more seats to be able to get people into those games.
Rittman referenced his experience as an assistant coach for Teresa Wilson at Washington when they built that program back in 1993 is part of the reason, you know, he could kind of do this, the rapid rise to national prominence. They went to the championship game of the Women's College World Series in 1996. They lost to Arizona and Mike Candrea. Of course, you finished the job, though. Down the road, you had to... But it's all a culmination of that program getting started, headed in the right direction with Teresa Wilson and John Rittman, and then he takes that experience almost 30 years later and brings it to Clemson. Oh, stabbed at third by Alex Brown. Had to adjust the visor after that one.
And like you mentioned, this third base is new for her. They have her playing there. They wanted her to learn it and be that everyday starter. Playing at the hot corner.
Out of the three-hole Vaughter, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. That's off the handle and fielded right on the line by Hiller. Very quick. One best win of the season for them. They've got a tough matchup this weekend with Tennessee in SEC play. Bryant fumbles it for a moment, but then throws an absolute missile to Cummings at first.
Well, and she's getting out her former teammates in Lindsey Garcia. Both of them played at Auburn together. That slight bobble, but you're right, just has the absolute dart from third base. But yeah, looking at South Carolina, Chucky, last weekend playing and dropping 3 to Texas A&M, really, really tight games. And when we asked Coach Bev Smith, she's just the timely hit. We competed, we could have won those ball games, but we needed that one timely hit to just crack something open. And tough schedule. I mean, playing Clemson tonight, and then you look at going up against Tennessee this upcoming weekend.
They left 17 runners on base in the first 2 games against Texas A&M. Those were all close games. Elena Vaughter, I think she's having trouble with her mask. There was a piece hanging down in front of her, like in her eyesight. I think she's going to grab a new mask out of the dugout. Don't forget the ACC wander behind McWhorter Stadium to catch that series this weekend, as Vaughter's ready to go to face Abby Vieira. Vieira, a junior catcher from Mission Viejo, California. 8 hits in the last 7 games leading up to this one, and she's ahead in the count 2-0.
And I've always loved watching her stance when she's in the box. Like, everyone is so at times unique with the way they do it, but she stands so tall, upright, hands low, and then she gets into her load. And when we were talking with Coach Rittman on Monday prior to this series kicking off, I mean, one of the big questions we wanted to ask, like, how are you guys going to get to Oklahoma City? I feel like you've been knocking at the door every single year, and you're so close. And I think the one thing he continued to reiterate to us is just, it's hard to get to that final 8. You'll see a couple of those teams that year after year that do it. Oklahoma, prime example. But he said 2021, we get to the regional final. 22, Oklahoma State, Kelly Maxwell, doesn't work out. 23, I mean, goes to Oklahoma. They're 1 out away from winning game 2. And then Kinsey Hansen tied that ball game up with that solo shot to left field, which was so impressive. But I think the one thing I got from it was just like, they appreciate this game even more because it is so hard. You're always humbled, you're continuously working, but more importantly, like, you want to make your schedule grueling so you don't get paired up with Oklahoma in the 16 seed, right? Those are the little things that tough schedules can help set you up for.
How special would it be for this senior class to put the bookend on their careers, the ones that started this program? It would be certainly a storybook ending for them to make it to Oklahoma City after all they've accomplished.
And I think for Coach Rittman too, like, I remember getting the chance to play against Stanford back when I was at Washington, and just what a force he was. And that was back in the Missy Pena days. Pitcher for Stanford, they were always such a tough team to go against. And for him to be able to go and become the head coach of a program and put them on the map like he does, it goes to show how incredible this man is, not only with the college game, but he's been in the international game. Took Team USA to that Japan series in the summer of 2023. I mean, he has so much experience to offer to these young ladies. Really cool to see.
2 Women's College World Series appearances with Stanford, one in 2001, one in 2004. Vaughter has a 2-2 count against Grace Hiller. Grounded out her first trip to the plate. Another ground ball to her left, and on the run, Blankenship putting on a show at shortstop. Walk ratio so far.
Yeah, and I believe she's earned that right. And when I said earned her stripes, she's been kind of that, at times, a little bit of an ace. I mean, she got to start in that 2022 against Oklahoma State, and she competes when she's out there. I can appreciate the fact that she throws hard on hitters' hands and has no fear in that department.
Right on cue, on the hands of Cummings as she pops that up to first base. 1 out.
And I like the way that she carries herself out there. She's so energetic. She's so much fun to watch. There's not one way to do it when you're out there, right? You'll see some pitchers, like, for example, Valerie Cagle, who's very stoic. And then someone like Millie Thompson, who's kind of all over the place in the best way.
Clemson fans love her. 3-time All-ACC, 29 wins over the last 2 years. She's 4-0 this season. Oh, that's filthy. She's got a swagger in the circle, Danielle, in her own way, kind of the quick tempo, kind of marching around.
And that's what I feel like you need to have, right? There has to be this fierce competitor when you're out there, because when the hitter's stepping in the box, they're trying to take you yard every single chance they get. I think there's something so fun about this alter ego being able to come out when you cross those lines. It doesn't matter if you're stepping in the box, headed to shortstop, or you're in the circle. The way that you carry yourself matters. You have to have that confidence.
Again, on the hands, right to Maddie Moore, and there's 2 outs.
And I think this could be a big inning here for Clemson, in the sense where you get 3 quick outs. That kind of gives you that extra little confidence going into the bottom half. I mean, the strikeout to walk ratio, looking at those numbers across the board, Millie Thompson, I mean, love to see it. This is entering tonight's game.
Strike 1 to Carly Henderson. It was a great spot to insert Thompson as well, because you have 3 straight lefties due up this inning. Retired Cummings and Shelton. Now Henderson, who's 1 for 2 tonight, fouls that back. She's down 0-2.
Well, when I was looking through just data on Millie Thompson, I wanted to kind of look at the weighted heat maps on 643, which goes to show where they tend to get hit and where they tend to be icy, which means hitters struggle a little bit. And the inner half to those left-handed hitters, she is successful. It is ice cold on their hands. That's why you see her continuously going back to that spot and getting those 2 quick outs, because there is no fear going in. And the mentality for a pitcher, when you feel confident enough to go in, hey, if I hit you, I hit you, but I'm going to miss in, I'm not going to miss plate.
Another 0-2. Runs it a touch outside. Thompson, talk about misconsistency, hasn't allowed more than one earned run since April 15th of last season.
And Millie Thompson's a quick pace pitcher. You see her moving around a lot, very fast pace, almost cardio pitcher-ish. You have that new rule this year with the pitch clock. She's not even coming close to even getting close to zero by the time she's throwing it. It's at 8, 9 seconds left. She's quick.
Zeros since the third inning when Cummings took the lead. Ground ball again to Moore. 1-2-3 inning for Millie Thompson out of the bullpen, but Clemson trailing by 1 in their chances. South Carolina back the lead. Vaughter has retired 14 straight since the home run, and that one gets through to snap the streak. Kylie Johnson, the 9-hole to start Clemson off in the 6th.
Well, and you said it right there, the 9-hole, turning that lineup over around for the 3rd time through. So this is where you want to see Clemson adjust. Your 3rd ups, getting to see Vaughter for the 3rd time, how she's pitched you. We've had really quick innings when you think about her pitch count.
Brown underneath it, shallow right field. Caught there by Henderson, 1 out, and that's a big one after the leadoff single. Ariel Oda is 1 for 2 tonight off Vaughter. She had the first hit as the 2nd batter of the game for Clemson. And came around on that 2-run shot. (1-0). Down and away, 2-0. Vaughter has not had a 3-ball count all night. In danger of Oda being the first one to get there. This is just the 59th pitch coming from Vaughter. Strike 1.
I mean, so efficient. 18 pitches in the 1st, 10 in the 2nd, 11 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th, and 10 last inning. She's just done, honestly, such a good job not having to change up her game plan. Honestly, Chucky, like Clemson has not stepped into the box and made an adjustment that 2nd time through. They're going to get another crack at it 3rd time here, but what are you doing as a hitter when you're facing a hefty drop ball down in the zone? Drop ball is a pitch that they hit the best as a team, and I think that to me is kind of the most shocking part of where they struggled a little bit as a team. They pulled the trigger on it, and we shall see right here.
Interesting. They say she did not leave early. Are you shocked by that call?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. To say that I dig the rule, I don't like it. I don't love that you can do this randomly out of nowhere, like, oh, she left early, but based on the footage and what we saw slow-mo, it did kind of look like her foot was off the base before the pitch was released, but I'm okay with this.
Oda stays in the box with a 2-2 count.
I think
Hunter
the biggest
at first
thing,
is still Johnson.
The biggest thing, Chucky, is more so the, like, waiting that Elena Vaughter had to do, right? That was a couple minutes of her just being out there, almost like an ice the kicker mentality, but it's her own team that's making that call to do that.
3-2, first 3-ball count of the night for Vaughter, 1 away against the 2-hole. Mackenzie Clark licking her chops on deck, hoping for an opportunity here. 3-2. Nice job by Oda to fight that one away.
The 3-2 change piece. Haven't seen her really go to that pitch at all today. And goes at a 3-2 count. Love the confidence in that pitch. That one coming in at 59 miles an hour, and we're going on the 8th pitch of this at bat.
Outside, ball 4. Big time AB from Ariel Oda.
And that's the at-bat that you appreciate from your 5th year in Ariel Oda. Working the count, a little blip in the radar with going to the review, sitting around, waiting, and now giving Mackenzie Clark a big opportunity here.
Has been first pitch swinging both trips to the plate. Crowd hoping for something special. First pitch swinging, diving stop. Everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded with one away.
Swinging early again in the count. Mackenzie Clark off the plate a little bit, goes with this drop ball on the outer half. You love the effort by Shelton. I think her stopping this potentially stops a run, but now you have Lungaleo up. Oof.
Aaliyah Lungaleo, senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Plenty of power, a ton of experience, 5th year senior. 1-0 count coming from Vaughter. Lungaleo, line shot into center field. It's caught by Blampede, but the runner will come home from 3rd to tie the game at 3. Job done by Aaliyah Lungaleo.
She hits this one on the screws, and you see Blampede, her first step is in, but she's able to drop step and get back there. This was a really heads-up play by her. Sometimes those line shots to the outfield can catch you off guard a little bit, but Lungaleo fired up. Tied this ball game up in the bottom of the 6th.
Doesn't get any easier with Maddie Moore coming to the plate. Hit .714 in the 3-game series with North Carolina this weekend and homered in Game 3 of that series. The runner will advance to 2nd as that one gets away from Desiderio just a little bit. Two in scoring position now for Moore.
Not a bad average with 2 out by Maddie Moore. 421 with 2 outs. You can just feel the pressure.
1-0 outside, ball 2.
And I say the pressure because we've seen 2 pitches that are just not even close by Elena Vaughter. One that was almost a pass ball, and then that last pitch way out of the zone, falling behind here. This is when you need to really go back to the mental piece, right? What makes you sharp? Take your breath, go back to your routine.
Off the handle and caught at 2nd by Shelton to strand 2. Inning, Danielle, the runner leaving early that was called safe, that said she did not leave first early. That's the difference right now. Pinch hitter coming in for South Carolina, Kiana Jones, who's hitting .254 on the season. She's got some pop in her bat, 2nd on the team with 3 home runs.
Well, fun fact, her and I both played for the same organization and grew up about 10 minutes apart from each other. I remember watching her with the White Rock Renegades, White Rock, British Columbia, Canada, up north.
Member of the Canadian national team, swings through that pitch. 1-2 now for Thompson.
The interesting thing about Millie Thompson, when she comes at you with the curve, she went hard on the hands and went with the change piece next. 56.3% change, or whiff rate, excuse me, and that's what she got on that pitch. It's just really cool to see kind of the numbers and analytics at times, even though as a pitcher, that's probably not what I wanted to always see, but it's our job to talk about it.
Ground ball foul down the left field line.
Just taking a peek over the years. Millie Thompson, Coach Rittman said 2022, at times she was like our ace. I mean, taking a peek at that number, that's why she had gotten the start against Oklahoma State in the postseason.
Ooh. Just misses, and now Jones battling 3-2. Hits this one hard up the middle. What an at-bat from Kiana Jones to lead off the top of the 7th with a base runner.
It's a really good at-bat.
Julia Desiderio is 1 for 2 tonight with a single back in the 2nd inning off Reagan Spencer, the starter. Showing bunt, just misses. This is one of those situations, Danielle, talking about situational hitting with Bev Smith, and it might not be coming up with the big hit, but laying down a bunt to potentially put this runner in scoring position. 0-1 from Thompson. Gets it down right in front of home plate, and the play is made. Desiderio with the sac bunt.
You just appreciate when you go back to the basics of the game. Our game at times has shifted to more long ball, more pop in the barrel, but when you can just break it down and simplify the game, because we know the importance is a tied ball game. You want to put a runner in scoring position. Desiderio lays down the perfect sack and now puts the pinch hitter, Anaya Black, in a good position here to potentially score that go-ahead run.
Anaya Black will pinch hit here for Brooke Blankenship. Watches the first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. 297 average on the season. She is hitting 379, best on the team with runners in scoring position. Oh, got her with the changeup.
Quick 0-2 for Millie Thompson. Great location of those pitches. And this is the moment she's in a hitter's head.
And outside corner, got her looking. Thompson with a big-time strikeout.
Not a quality AB in my books, right? You take those 2 quick pitches, swinging at that change, and then you take an 0-2 pitch, backdoor curveball in the outer half. Way too sweet to leave with 2 strikes.
Last chance for South Carolina in the 7th. Denver Bryant swings through that first 52-mile-per-hour pitch for strike 1. I think there's few in the lineup for South Carolina they'd rather have up than Bryant, who has so much experience. She did go, though. It's 0-2, and Thompson is rolling right now.
I mean, since that base hit, it's just been straight ice in her veins. Like, good quality pitches, confident.
Crowd is. Ooh.
I'm sitting change if I'm a hitter, if I'm Denver.
1-2. Swings through it. Strike 3 for Thompson, and a little kiss for the crowd.
Lindsey Garcia leading us off.
Clemson's last walk-off was February 24th against UConn, it was Garcia with an RBI single in the 8th. You see Clemson this year versus the SEC, just 2-4. Played some really close games, though, against those SEC opponents. You look at a couple of their losses to Georgia in 8 innings, to Tennessee in 9 innings. And their first loss of the season in Clearwater came against Missouri. 1-0 to Garcia. Slow roller left side for Bryant on the move. 1 out.
And that's back-to-back ABs where Lindsey Garcia has rolled into her former teammate at Auburn, Denver Bryant. She should know this. She shouldn't hit it to her.
Abby Vieira now, who's 0 for 2 tonight. And a half-hearted swing to foul that back for strike 1. Lauder's been so good bouncing back, Danielle. She had the 14 straight retired after the home run, and then this has been just a couple batters, but still stranded 2 in scoring position, and then gets the first out of the inning here in the 7th. Hard grounder up the middle. Blankenship right back to work. 2 outs.
Really, Chucky, the one thing that I think about with this year is you're losing all those COVID seniors, right? Like a player like Elena Vaughter in her 5th year, the experience that you have at 22, 23 years old is significantly different than someone at 17, 18 years old. You can deal with the hiccups of the game, giving up the 2-run shot, and then being able to bounce back next pitch because she has that experience, right? And that is why you tend to see some of these, you know, grad-heavy teams having a good chunk of success. If you have 4, 5, 6 50-year seniors on your squad, you're in a pretty good spot as a coach with the trust that you have in them and all the things that they've had to go through throughout their career. It's kind of sad to think, you know, you're saying goodbye to all those COVID seniors this year. You're not going to see those rollover seniors anymore.
Vaughter down low, 2-1 count for the 8-hole Grace Hiller. 2 ground outs to her name tonight. Swings through it. Strike 2.
And if you're getting a swing and miss on a pitch like that as a pitcher, it's, I mean, that's just so dirty, almost unhittable on the inner half.
3-2.
Wouldn't be surprised if she goes back to that drop on the inside part of the plate, that downward bite.
High chopper left side. Blankenship can't handle it. That was tough for the shortstop charging in. And a 2-out base runner in the form of Grace Hiller.
This is a base hit in my books. This had just such high hang time. A lot of speed up the line by Hiller. I mean, Mackenzie Clark, chef's kiss, she's loving it.
Goes down as an E6 on Blankenship. Pinch runner at first base, Kennedy Ariel. Set her high school record as a member of the 4x200 relay. So plenty of speed over there at first. Vaughter misses with the first pitch to Kylie Johnson, who singled and scored that tying run in the 6th inning. She was the one that was challenged if she left first base early. Ground ball left side and foul. Texas, Florida State, another top 25 matchup coming up next right here on ACC Network. 1-1. Outside ball 2. Vaughter trying to end it right here before the top of the order gets back to the plate. 2-1, hit deep to right field toward the track, and it's caught by Carly Henderson. A 3-4, Blampede, Vaughter, and Cummings due up against Thompson. Blampede just fouled down the first base line. Actually sounded like...
We asked Coach Rittman just about those close games, right? In our coaches call, like the heartbreak loss to Georgia, to Tennessee, to Minnesota, and like, what's it take? And he said, honestly, those teams came up with the timely hits when they need to, and that's what extra innings is all about. Have to be able to step up with that pressure.
Nice little glove flip from Millie Thompson for out number 1. A little shrug. Elena Vaughter had the walk-off 3-run shot to beat Boston University this past week. 53-mile-per-hour off speed from Thompson for strike 1. Oh, 1.
Back-to-back changeups by Millie Thompson. There's something about a pitcher versus pitcher. It's so fun to watch when you have a pitcher who knows the game, knows the strike zone.
She is close. That's just a little bit outside. Two-1. Vaughter swings through it, chased that one out of the zone.
I think it kind of just goes to show how deceptive Millie Thompson is, right? Like that one wasn't even close. If I'm Millie, I'm going right back to that pitch.
Got her! Out number 2 for Thompson.
I mean, so good, right? You have to be so, as a hitter, refined enough to not swing at that pitch, right? Like you have to know in your gut, hey, there's a good chance she's going to go back. I can't swing. And sometimes not having as many at-bats as everyone else kind of puts you in that position sometimes when you're going up against someone, like Millie Thompson with that experience, who's going to kind of exploit you on some of those movement wiggle pitches away.
The second baseman Moore, 1-2-3 inning for Millie Thompson, and that will... Top of the lineup, Alex Brown to lead things off as she watches strike 1. 1, 2, and 3 for Clemson are 3 for 8 tonight with a home run and 2 RBIs. The rest of the team just 1 for 17. See the Clemson hit leaders. Brown, Oda, and Clark, who are due up, are all on that list of their leaders. Vaughter lets this one get away. It's a 1-2 count now. Alex Brown 0 for 3 on the night. 1-2, ground ball right side, slow roller for Shelton, 1 away.
players that, if I'm Elena Vaughter, that are in my head a little bit. Just that scrappy AB first walk of the game by Oda, but then more importantly, Mackenzie Clark and just what she's been able to do. She swung at the first pitch this whole game. All 3 ups, she swung first pitch. So if I'm Elena Vaughter, those are the little things that are in the back of my head. Hey, I have to be mindful of what I'm going to give her early on. Try to see if I can get her swing at something way up out of the zone.
Ground ball left side, Blankenship takes care of it. 2 quick outs for Vaughter here in the bottom of the 8th. But it only takes 1. And Mackenzie Clark is as dangerous as they come. He's already done it once tonight. The 2-run home run in the first inning. 8 on the season. 42 for her career. Can Elena Vaughter give South Carolina another chance? Outside ball 1.
It's a great spot. It's a veteran pitch right there, especially knowing she's swinging early. Good location, not too out, but out enough.
Outside again, 2-0. Inside ball 3.
And if she were to walk her right here, I'm okay with it. I think she's a hitter you do not want to let beat you twice in one game to potentially walk this thing off. I think you make smart pitches. It's a good location at a 3-0 count. If you can live on a corner, it's hard to beat you. Doesn't matter if it's a hitter's game now more than it ever has been. If you spot a pitch up well enough location, more times than not, you are going to beat an elite level hitter. It's when you miss, it's when the pressure gets to you, ball bleeds back over.
3-1, Vaughter has bounced back to make this a full count.
She's gone back-to-back pitches away, that low and away. I know it's a 3-2 count, but we've seen her throw that nasty drop in. If she can get that downward bite, I'd throw 70 on the hands down in the zone.
On the hands, hit well into center field, but caught by Riley Blampede. And that will send us.
Getting that first out, that takes the pressure off of the inning, especially when you're in extras.
Nice pitch from Thompson for strike 1 against Henderson. They've both gone quick these last couple innings, Danielle. I keep thinking, well, this is the boost of energy and momentum that the bats need, and then the other pitcher comes back and responds.
And to me, I really believe that it comes with what's going on upstairs and how we're speaking to ourselves and how we're dealing with kind of the pressure that you feel in a game like this. And not allowing a leadoff base hit or a 2-run shot by Mackenzie Clark, kind of define how the rest of this game is going to go. You tip your cap as a pitcher, say, hey, you got me. Boom, next pitch. I can't control what just happened. I can only control this next pitch that I throw.
From Thompson, that is outside for ball 1. Henderson's base hit came in the 4th inning off of Spencer. 1-2 from Thompson. Just inside.
She wanted it. Crowd wanted it. I might have wanted it. Solid spot. Backdoor curveball in on the hands.
It's a little up to make it a 3-2 count.
She gets that down a little bit. It's a backwards K. We've seen it happen twice today. Just change, elevate it a little bit. She can bring it down in the zone. She's going to tie up these hitters.
3-2. On the hands, Thompson running. There's a little bit of a miscommunication. And Henderson is on with one out.
Yeah, this is one of those that if you're going to commit to it as a pitcher, you got to commit to it. You see Hiller, who is going towards the base. Someone has to be yelling. Someone has to be screaming. I think if Millie Thompson would have continued her momentum and just went to make that play, I think they could have potentially got her.
Off speed for strike one to Marissa Gonzalez. The left fielder is 0 for 2 tonight. Kiana Jones hit for her the last time up and singled. Slow roller foul. If you're looking for Texas, Florida State, that's on ACC Network Extra and the ESPN app. We'll get you to that one as soon as this one finishes in Clemson. Outside ball one. 8-game win streak on the line for the Clemson Tigers. South Carolina trying to snap a 2-game slide. They started 3-0 at the Garnett and Black Invitational this past week, but dropped their final 2 games to NC State and Northwestern. Two. Ground ball to the shortstop. They get the lead runner at second. Gonzalez will be aboard at first with 2 outs.
It's a great pitch by Millie Thompson. Clemson getting lead outs, knowing the importance of not allowing that runner to get to second base.
Actually leads them with 4 home runs on the season. Goes after the 54-mile-per-hour off speed. This is a big spot for the freshman.
Yo, I mean, swagger right out of the gate. I'm coming at you with a 54-mile-an-hour changeup. Wouldn't be surprised to throw something off again.
52 that time, an 0-2 count for Thompson.
And I'm throwing it again, but I'm keeping it down in the zone away. We've seen that funky movement by Millie Thompson, low in the zone, gotten some big swings and miss. You saw Vaughter strike out on it. There it is.
And they say she did not get a piece of that, so it's a strikeout for Thompson, number 2 here in Clemson, South Carolina. You hear the chants from the crowd. Lungoleo, who has been a staple for John Rittman in her career. 4, 5, 6 due up against Elena Vaughter. Lungoleo tied this game in the 6th inning with that sacrifice line out to center field that almost got Blampede. .20 count for Lungoleo.
And still just Elena Vaughter, even though she fell behind here, going on her 100th pitch of the game, she's been very efficient to be going into the 9th inning with only 100 pitches.
Ground ball left side. Blankenship takes care of it for out number 1. Longest outing of the season for Elena Vaughter. I think it's a pretty clear message from Bev Smith how bad they want this one. How much she trusts her veteran ace. Maddie Moore now with a chance. She's 0 for 3 on the day. Ground ball to Bryant on the left side. The left side of that infield has been automatic behind Vaughter.
And I think the later you get into a game like this, the more at-bats you get, you got to work deeper counts, right? They're swinging early, which I can appreciate, but also, like, we're just continuing to get the same result over and over and over again, and it's those ground balls. And I think trying to go in potentially and switching up the game plan a little, maybe move around in the box.
Garcia in the air down the right field line, foul.
And I say this because they've lost 3 heartbreakers in extra innings this year. And when we ask Coach Rittman, hey, what happened in those games? It comes down to the time they hit it. So when you're going up against South Carolina in the bottom of the 9th, it's like, hey, we've been through this 3 times already this year. Like, what adjustments can we make as an offense to not have that same result?
This is out of play, 0-2. Garcia, the 3 ground outs, spent 4 years at Auburn. Hit .282 with 18 home runs and 75 RBIs over the last 2 seasons. 0-2. Another ground ball, this time for Shelton. And a 1-2-3 inning for Elena Vaughter.
With ups against these pitchers, you have to be able to make that adjustment when you step in the box. And I think when you're going up against Millie Thompson, she's a junk ball pitcher, right? She can bring the velocity when she needs to, but she's able to get you with that down movement, almost knuckleball-ish change. So I think for me, it's being able to step in the box and say, hey, I can't swing at garbage down like that. Because a pitch like that is just something you can't do anything with, right? It needs to be elevated. You need to be on time with it. And these pitchers are doing a really good job of not having to change up their game plan.
This isn't a South Carolina team with a lot of pop. They're last in the SEC with just 12 total home runs on the season, 13, I guess, after Jen Cummings' solo shot back in the 3rd inning. Denver Bryant, who's up right now, is one who's had some pop in the past. Hit 5 home runs last year, hit 6 home runs back in 2022 before her season was cut short. In the dirt, ball 1.
If I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm going to go toe up the line. Like, I am going to pretty much practically stand on that plate. I know she's been living away to righty. She has that good off speed, but I'm going to force her to want to bring it in on my hands. You see Denver Bryant doing just that. It's just that pitch is so deceptive. So it's being able to acknowledge, okay, that's a changeup or it's coming in hot. And the hard part is what makes those changeup pitchers so effective is the rotation on that spin is what makes it look hot. That's why you're getting those big swings and misses.
Bryant off the end of the bat in the left field, caught by Oda for out number 2. Thompson keeps rolling, and now it's Riley Blampede. Still looking for her first hit of the night, but scored a run after she reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st. Underneath this one, first pitch swinging. Lungoleo has it. Bottom of the...
You're breeding these young kiddos to be diehard Clemson softball fans, and there's nothing I like more than that.
It would be quite the evening for this packed house if Clemson could come through, but South Carolina would love nothing more than to spoil that for their first ever win over their in-state rivals. 3.5 innings of zeros for these pitchers, Elena Vaughter and Millie Thompson. Abby Vieira down 0-2 in the count to Vaughter. In the dirt, 1-2. For as great as Elena Vaughter has been tonight, she doesn't have a strikeout.
But she knows how to roll a ground ball.
There it is. Her first of the night to get Vieira swinging.
Her ears were burning, Chucky, when she heard you call that. But it's the surprise rise ball up in the zone, primarily down. We've seen it. The ground balls prove it. And she climbs the ladder with that pitch. And she's able to potentially add that a little bit here at just getting the hitters' heads even more. Wow.
Grace Hiller trying to start something with one out. Hits this one well into left center field. Diving is Blampede, but it gets to the wall, and Hiller is around to second base. The potential winning run with one out.
And I think this is a double in the books, whether Blampede lays out or doesn't. Honestly, this was going to go warning track. It had a lot of heat behind it. But you see the excitement.
Hiller stepping up in such a big way for Clemson. John Rittman mentioned her on our call. Had a double and drove in a run this weekend against North Carolina. Kylie Johnson now, a chance for the bottom of the order to get it done for Clemson. Scored the tying run in the sixth. Swings through the 1-0. Just outside, ball two.
And you've seen Elena Vaughter on the last couple pitches on the outer half where she's kind of tended to get those pitches for strikes, not getting them called, and kind of asking Desiderio behind the plate, hey, where's that missing?
Inside, 3-1.
This is a career high for Vaughter, longest game and that she's thrown, 10 1/3.
(3-1) is fouled straight back, full count. Vaughter has walked just one tonight. Top of the order in waiting. Alex Brown on deck. 3-2. Misses, ball four.
It's a good hold, really good hold.
Eight and 9 coming up big to make it first and second for Alex Brown, who is one of the names on this list. Ariel Oda and Mackenzie Clark do up after her. Still one out, left side. Ground ball, chance for two. They will not get Brown at first, so first and third with two outs.
Swings at that first pitch, drop on the outer half. Good heads-up play by the defense, trying to go for the double play. Not in time.
Ariel Oda, one of the originals, enrolled back in 2018, 2 years before Clemson would ever play a softball game. (0-1). In the air, Bryant, playable in foul territory.
Oh.
Vaughter strands a pair.
Wow.
We are going. It's no runs and struck out 4. 3-4-5 for South Carolina, starting with Vaughter. Vaughter, 2 strikeouts.
It's that change. Dirty.
What are you telling hitters for South Carolina if you're in that dugout? How do you get something off Thompson? Gets Vaughter.
You have to be able to step into the box. There are some hitters that can go in and hunt change knowing that she has it and feel confident enough to hack at that pitch and do something with it. But the swings and misses that you're getting on that pitch, it's like they are not even close. So I don't know if the adjustment is, hey, you know she's getting this downward bite on the outer half to the righties. Maybe get on the plate a little bit, maybe move up in the box, try to put her, you know, make her feel uncomfortable a little bit. But at times it comes down to the hitter. I can't say that every hitter enjoys hitting a changeup. Hence why changeup pitchers have a lot more success than just straight heat throwers, right? Because it's harder as a hitter to decipher the difference between the 2 pitches, and they can have continued success multiple times through the lineup.
In the air to pretty deep left field. Oda going back to make the catch for out number 2 against Cummings, who was hoping to get a little more into that like she did in the 3rd inning. It's 2 outs. Millie Thompson's ERA is down to 1.18. Started at 1.36 tonight. Carly Shelton takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Her location has been out of this world.
Yeah, she's icy on the hands of those left-handed hitters on that weighted heat map with 6-4-3. I mean, that's where she gets a lot of those hitters out. The confidence on the inner half at times separates the difference between the good and the great pitchers, right? There's this confidence that you have knowing that I can crush you hard. I have no fear if I hit you, and that instills a little bit of fear in a hitter, because then they kind of question, oh, is she coming back? Is she going away?
Shelton is grounded out to second base all 4 times at the plate. 2 off of Spencer and 2 off Thompson. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Millie Thompson slams the glove down. 6 strikeouts for her.
27 velo off that bat, getting out of here.
Could hear the ooze from the crowd, and this was John Rittman trying to get the crowd going a little bit here before this inning started. They know what kind of home field advantage they have here at McWhorter Stadium.
And that's the competitive advantage about getting to play at home, right? That's why everyone fights for that in the postseason. That's why you play the toughest schedule you can, so you can host a regional, you can host a super regional to try to get to Oklahoma City during that mayhem route. Gives you that extra confidence playing in your own park, your own fans.
Two-one count for Mackenzie Clark. Never had a walk-off in her career. Ground ball right side. Shelton takes care of it. 1 out.
The difference for me, Chucky, is Vaughter's been climbing the ladder, and then she's been getting swings on pitches like this, right? So she starts Mackenzie Clark out with a rise ball. The inning prior, 2 key outs, 1 strikeout, her first of the game, comes on a pitch that's elevated up in the zone. She has not thrown that pitch up until the 10th inning. And that, to me, shows, hey, okay, I'm going to change up my game plan a little bit because I can. It's going to be the 5th time through the lineup. And it's going to just kind of show the confidence that she has late in the game to change up the game plan, to climb the ladder, and trust that pitch.
1-0. Longoleo right back to Vaughter, and there's 2 outs. That was the 125th pitch from Vaughter tonight.
Which at times some pitchers average this in a 7-inning game. So it just kind of, it goes to show she's in the 11th inning. I think she's kept her pitch count pretty good. You like the ratio, 78 strikes, 47 balls.
Maddie Moore, 0 for 4 tonight. 0-1 count. Off the handle, and she's down 0-2. This is a heartbreaker for somebody tonight, Danielle.
Yeah, this is where, like, you think about that rise ball for Elena Vaughter. She could potentially throw that up and in on the hands, or that last pitch opens up the outer half for that low drop ball. And even that little gimme by the hitter, right? That, ooh, I want to pull the trigger, but I don't, now opens up the up and in. So if she could throw that rise ball heavy in on the hands, I think she'd get a fly out or a potential K.
1-2. Outside.
Oh, there it is. Now I'm going down and in. I'm going 70 down on your hands. I just got you to look up. You didn't even sniff at it. Now I'm going to throw and spin something. It's a good at-bat.
Vaughter thought she had the outside corner, but it's a 2-out walk for Maddie Moore to give Lindsey Garcia a chance.
And I like the smiles. We'll take a look at the ACC walks, game leaders. You look at Maddie Moore. See, that's pretty good.
20th on the season for Maddie Moore to lead Clemson. Up and in, runner goes, the throw down, got her at second, Desiderio. The call stands, she is out at second. We are headed for the longest game in Clemson softball history.
In the top of the 12th inning, I can't believe we're already in the 12th. It has gone by quick, kind of.
First pitch swing into right center field, a base hit to lead things off for Carly Henderson. Her 3rd hit of the night, and South Carolina's in business in the 12th.
And swinging early in the count. This pitch is down, but she's able to just kind of go with it, drops her barrel on it, finds some green.
Now Marissa Gonzalez. She has a hit tonight, and it came off Thompson. Or excuse me, Kiana Jones in her spot has a hit off Millie Thompson. Gonzalez still looking for her first. Inside, ball 1.
When you're a pitcher and you're in this tight of a ball game and you're going to extras, I think that one thing to pull from, it's like, it's you versus me. It's Millie Thompson going up against Elena Vaughter. And sometimes it gives you that competitive advantage when you're thinking about that, right? Like, you want to do it for your team, but there is this different beast as a pitcher that sometimes you need to pull from, right? And sometimes what helped me in those moments, I remember that UMass game, 15 innings that we had to play, and I look across the diamond and I'm like, hey, you ain't beating me. And sometimes when you see Millie Thompson, she has that confidence. She has that demeanor when she's out there. Almost like the Michael Jordan mentality, right? Like it's just, you are not going to beat me.
With Valerie Cagle out, she's missed the last 4 games. Thompson will be the one they look to in those high leverage moments as she gets a swing and a miss from Gonzalez. The 7th strikeout for Thompson.
Yeah, this is just nasty. But to me, it's just Millie Thompson's body, right? The way that she can really get behind this pitch and make it look like she is coming at you so hard. It is so deceptive. And I think that fools the hitter at times more than what the pitch is actually doing, because they see her coming at him. I love the response from Millie Thompson after giving up the leadoff base hit.
Desiderio into center field, another base hit. 2 singles here in the 12th inning. Knight 0 for 1 against Thompson. Ball 1. Six and a third for Thompson. 4 hits allowed, 2 of them here in the 12th inning. She has struck out 7. 1-0 to Blankenship. Now a conversation. Or ERA, it's up this year at 3.42, but a completely different look from the right side. Hit and through the right side. The stop sign thrown up at third base, but it's bases loaded now for South Carolina, and the top of the order coming up.
Blankenship kind of hits this obviously to the right side, got jammed up a little bit, but still through the 3-4 hole enough to get it by Maddie Moore. And being held up at 3, and I like that hold up.
Denver Bryant 0 for 5 tonight. A chance to give the Gamecocks the late lead. 1-0, 2-0.
Talk about an absolute pressure cooker from McCubbin. Coming in, 2-0 count. Now bases loaded, 12th inning.
Bryant right side. The throw home is in time. Huge play from the Tigers defense. And a review is incoming.
There's no way they wouldn't. Challenge left on the table. You would. This is close at the plate for sure.
And the call was overturned. Safe at the plate. South Carolina in the 12th inning has taken the lead. Denver Bryant brings Carly Henderson home, and there's still a lot of trouble on the base pass for the Tigers. First pitch swing, that gets through. Blampede delivers. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. And the Gamecocks trying to break this open in the 12th.
So good, in on the hands, drives it right back up the middle. I think pitch elevated just a little bit too much. But South Carolina continuing to pour it on, up 3 here in the top of the 12th inning.
Vaughter up with a chance to add some more insurance to her cause. Fouls that one down the left side. Vaughter's down 0-2. What a performance from her tonight, Danielle. Just a gritty performance on the road against your rival.
This is what you sign up for, especially being that 5th year and switching conferences, and then this type of a rivalry game, and the amount of pitches that, big pitches that she's been able to throw under pressure and execute has been really cool to see.
Off the handle, they might get 2, they do. Nice defensive play to finish the 12th, but South Carolina 7-8 due up for Clemson against Elena Vaughter, who is entering her 12th inning of work tonight. Pitch number 132 on the way. First pitch swinging and smoked into right field, right at Henderson, 1 out. Abby Vieira is 0 for 4 tonight. The lone strikeout victim. She is first pitch swinging, and it eats up Blankenship at shortstop. Tough short hop there. It's a 1-out base runner.
This is a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. That little back step by Blankenship, the ball kind of ate her up, had some good bites and good spin.
Runner for Clemson is Julia Baumhart. Super speedster, had 18 runs scored and 20 stolen bases last year, primarily as a pinch runner. To the 8-hole Grace Hiller, who doubled her last time up. That was the most danger that Vaughter has faced in extra innings back in the 10th. The double from Hiller, the walk to Johnson, and then got Alex Brown and Ariel Oda back-to-back to end the inning. Just inside.
And if you're Elena Vaughter, I mean, there is no sense in panicking at all. With 1 down, a runner on, even a 2-run shot right now does not put Clemson back in this ball game. It's about being able to execute 1 pitch at a time.
It's strike 2 on Hiller. Elena Vaughter, a 5th-year senior out of Kansas City, Missouri, went to Staley High School. She was a state champion as a freshman. 20-plus wins in 3 straight seasons at Stanford. Ground ball through the left side. And now Clemson might be in business with the tying run stepping to the plate in the 12th. Kylie Johnson has reached twice tonight, a single and a walk.
And 3 home runs on the season.
True freshman out of West Chapel, Florida. Had 2 home runs in game 1 of their series against North Carolina. Oh, 2. Just a small difference in experience between these two. Vaughter in her 5th season of college softball. Johnson in her 1st.
And those are the little things that kind of give you that competitive advantage sometimes as a 5th-year pitcher, right? When you're a senior, when you're a 5th year, like, to give you that slight edge. You are a freshman, and if I own my job and I trust myself, I'm going to beat you. Whether or not that's the case, who knows? Because there are freshmen that come in and just absolutely do damage, and that's what Johnson does in the 9 spot. She turns this lineup over so good.
2-2. Underneath it and out of play. It's just a Clemson team without Valerie Cagle right now, without a tremendous freshman in Julia Noller right now. Two. That's fouled.
We've seen Elena Vaughter change up her game plan a little bit. We've seen her change up this innings. Strike actually the lead off Johnson. She's battled, right? We're going on the 8th pitch of this at bat. I know she has the drop ball, but I want to see her climb the ladder. I want to see her, like we did a couple innings ago, rise ball up and in. There it is. It's the money pitch, right? It may not be her go-to pitch, but this late in a game, it's about getting in a hitter's head and going opposite of what they think is coming. And that is not Elena Vaughter's bread and butter. Her down is. But to be able to throw that pitch in this situation, this late in a game, going on 147 pitches, that's impressive.
First pitch swinging up the middle for Alex Brown. 1 run coming around to score. And Clemson is not done yet.
It's a good job by Alex Brown, this pitch. It's just heart of the plate, right? She takes it right back up the heart of the field. Past the bat mentality. And on the flip side, if you're South Carolina, you have to work outs and know, hey, we have 2 down, but a ball off the bat here is a walk-off.
Oda watches the first pitch up in the zone, ball 1. She walked back in the 6th. The winning run at the plate. 2 outs. 2-0.
And the last thing you want to do is put her on and go to Mackenzie Clark. But you also have to be careful at a 2-0 count in the at-bats that Ariel Oda has had off of Elena Vaughter.
Pitch number 150 is strike 1 to Oda.
And one of the hardest of the day, that one coming in at 71 miles an hour. Pitch 150.
Elena Vaughter trying to close the door. Strike 2, or no, outside.
Elevated the same as the last pitch.
Three-1. Oda trying to pass the bat to Mackenzie Clark. Hit in the air on the infield and caught by Cummings. And for the first time, South Carolina